2023 so far has been a decent year when it comes to game releases. I mean, there's a bunch of games I haven't had a chance to play yet, unfortunately, and some that I'm glad I didn't waste my money on.
I just move shit with my freaking mind! Yeah, okay, that is something I do now.
But there's still one more on the way that I'm definitely looking forward to. Anyway, since the year's pretty much almost over, I thought it'd be a good idea to share my most anticipated games coming up. Feel free to comment down below what games you're looking forward to as well. I'd like to discuss it. Alright, let me not waste any more time, let's just get into it. Okay, so I've been a fan of the Tekken series since Tekken 3 on the PS1. Everything from the gameplay, the characters, the music, and the visuals really stuck out to me back then. It pretty much set a standard within the fighting game genre, and it's crazy to see how far it's come since then. I've kept up with most of the games apart from a few, and my character pick has always been Wukong. I always look forward to seeing the style and evolution of his character, apart from whatever the hell this is. Anyway, at least customization is still a thing since being introduced in Tekken 5. I'm just glad he's back to wearing his dobok. Not gonna lie though, I was disappointed with how they handled some of the story arcs in Tekken 7, especially Eddie for example. I mean, this whole story was a big deal in the previous games, and then they ended with this.
Tá brincando comigo?
Plus, they were a lot shorter and not as in-depth compared to the other games like Tekken 5 or even Tekken 6. I remember playing through each character's story in Tekken 5 and liking how they would sometimes intertwine with the other storylines, but they decided to focus more on the Mishima side of the story, and I get it, it's the main plot, but anyway, regardless of all that, I'm still looking forward to it. It looks incredible so far from what I've seen. Wish I could have played the beta, but it is what it is. Tekken 8 still looks great, Fist meets Fate. Alright, I'm done. I had to put Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the list after my experience with 7 Remake. I played the hell out of that game and I loved it. Even the frustrating moments felt rewarding after beating them. It's one of those games I had to platinum as well. Anyway, after completing the game and getting so immersed in the world and the characters, I couldn't wait to play more within that story. For those that might not know, the story is sort of a retelling of the original, but they take it through interesting twists and turns while keeping a lot of things familiar enough for long-time fans. And yes, I am fully aware that some fans of the original don't care much for what developer Square Enix is doing with the game's story, and I understand where they're coming from, but I can only speak from my experience, and like I said, it was incredible. The DLC was released a year afterwards, which had you focus on different characters and was still worth playing. I personally feel like these guys know how to flesh out these characters well and make them just as good, if not better than their original versions from what I know. And it's the same effort with the newer characters as well. I was hype watching each trailer while trying to pick out clues on where the story might lead to based on my knowledge of the previous and the original game. It's been interesting listening and reading a lot of the theories and speculations on where things might end up. Anyway, what more can I say other than I'm definitely ready for this one. Black Myth Wukong took me by surprise and I was fully glued to the screen while watching the trailer. Believe it or not, I actually watched the original Journey to the West TV show as a kid, which was based on the 16th century Chinese novel that this game is also based on. And no, I didn't understand a single word being spoken. I honestly don't even think there was any subtitles, but I could be wrong. But either way, I watched numerous episodes with my older brother and was still entertained throughout. So yeah, the nostalgia was very strong with this one, especially hearing the theme song at the end of the trailer. Yeah, those that know about it know what I'm talking about. The next thing that stuck out to me in the trailer was obviously the visuals. It looked great even while in pre-alpha stages of development, which was being run on Unreal Engine 4. But I am glad they eventually switched to Unreal Engine 5 and it's been looking and running even better since then from what I've seen. I remember seeing a lot of comments during this particular part of the first trailer of people comparing Son Wukong to Goku, and I hope they eventually realize that Dragon Ball Z took a lot of inspiration from the novel as well. Anyway, it's looking like they're not telling the exact story of the novel but taking it in a different direction, and it could be interesting. It is a bit annoying the amount of delays the game has had, but I would rather them take their time with it than to end up with another unfinished mess, and so far I can already tell it's going to be worth the wait. So I think Phantom Blade Zero looks incredible, but I'm kinda skeptical at the same time. And I'm sure I'm not the first to say it, but the animation just felt a little too smooth during combat sections. I just kept thinking to myself, how would you play those moments? I mean, there were parts where it felt like it would require button prompts, like right here, but then there's scenes like this and I'm like, is it more timing based or I don't know. It does look really good though, and there's supposed to be a 30-minute demo releasing sometime in 2024, so we'll see when it gets here. The story and the design of the characters really piqued my interest. It's also one of those half open world games like God of War Ragnarok for example, and I personally don't mind that. Anyway, it does look ambitious and I hope the demo doesn't fall short for me like what happened with Forspoken. But yeah, there's nothing more I can say, so we'll just have to wait and see. And that's pretty much all the games I'm looking forward to. There were 3 more on the list: Wolverine, GTA 6 and a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. But there wasn't much I could say about those games. There was a trailer announcement for Marvel's Wolverine back in 2021, but that was it. Just a CG trailer from Insomniac confirming that the game was being made. But they obviously couldn't go much into it as Spider-Man 2 was the next game on their lineup and they had to focus on that, which makes sense. And based on their track record so far, I'm sure it's going to be great, but I personally think it should be more gruesome compared to Spider-Man, which it feels like it will. And when it comes to GTA 6, I am aware of the leaks that came out in 2022, and I've seen a lot of the footage, which was obviously an early build, but I can already see the potential for a great game. If you've played Red Dead Redemption 2, then you know that Rockstar doesn't hold back when it comes to details and the narrative and things like that, so that's a great reference point in my opinion. I don't care much for the online side of it, but I know they're definitely going to bring that back as that's where they made a lot of their money. I'm just more focused on the story. There seems to be sort of a Bonnie and Clyde theme going on, so that could be interesting. And as far as Ghost of Tsushima 2, I don't even think that that's been confirmed, as all the information I could find seemed to just be rumors and speculations. There is a movie in the works apparently, so that sounds cool, but yeah, that's all I've got on that. Anyway, those are my most anticipated upcoming games so far. Thanks for checking out the video and please like and share if you enjoyed it. And comment down below what games you're looking forward to as well, I'm curious to know. Anyway, that's all I've got for now, so I'll catch you in a bit.